So you got out. Great. Or you're thinking about getting out. Great. Mind you, great if it was your choice on getting out. If not your choice on getting out, not as great. But still a chance for you to make it great. In this video, I want to give you 5 tips on what to do during that first month that you get out. And we're starting right now. Hey, I'm Dr. McCleary, and if this is our first time meeting, my channel is dedicated to educating service members, veterans, and their families about mental health. So if that's you, consider subscribing. My first tip for you is sign up for VA benefits and healthcare. I don't care if you ever use it, that's up to you. But you always want it to be an option to use if you ever need to. That's all I'm going to say about that. My next tip for you is don't forget the basics. Don't forget what you learn from the military that's going to help you in that next phase of your life. Those things might be things like routine, things like exercising on a regular basis, things like hanging out with your friends on a regular basis. These type of things are built in to the day-to-day of being in uniform. But that doesn't mean that you can't take those things that you learned and apply them to that next stage of your life. Here's a popular, yet sometimes controversial one. Don't shave. Maybe don't even get a haircut. Or maybe get your hair cut like you want. Maybe it's time to get rid of that high and tight. Maybe you want a mohawk. Maybe you want to shave it bald. Maybe you want to shave some cool designs in your head. Maybe you want to turn it blue. Whatever you want to do, you've earned the right to do so. I can remember when I first got out. I was looking, for lack of words, like somebody that needed some resources. I did not get a haircut. I did not shave. I was looking pretty raggedy. If you're a veteran that has successfully transitioned from the military to civilian life, what tips would you give to another veteran? Put those down in the comments. My next tip for you on what to do in the first month of when you get out is I want you to do something, and you can start thinking about this now. Something that you wanted to do but couldn't do while you were still in uniform. This can be all types of things. And I don't care what it is, as long as it's safe. Now, if you tell me, you know what I couldn't do is I couldn't go on an all-night binger and do all kinds of drugs. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is something that maybe you wanted to do, but you weren't able to do because the military took some of that time or took your ability to commit to things. I can tell you something that I did. I wanted to work with kids. I wanted to give back to the community. But I was always going on deployment or preparing to go on deployment, which arguably sometimes is worse, time-wise. And I could never commit to anything. So I never did that because I never wanted a kid to be let down because I couldn't show up for whatever. It's also one of the first things that I signed up for when I got out. Something to think about what you may want to do. My last tip for you on what to do within the first month after you get out is a simple one, yet one that we don't do enough in the military. And that is go on a vacation. Take a break. You've earned it. And I'm not saying take a long weekend. Take a week. Take some time. You've earned a vacation. And maybe you want to combine that with the previous tip. Maybe you want to go somewhere the military wouldn't let you go. You want to go overseas on a vacation. Maybe you want to see what's in that restricted area when you were at such and such port. That's probably actually not a good idea, but who am I to judge? A lot of times what we end up doing when we get out is we either don't have too much of a plan or we have too much of a plan. Here in the DC area, what I see so often is people will get out of the military. Maybe they will retire from that place that is shaped like a pentagon. They'll retire on Friday. Maybe they take the weekend. Monday morning, they show up in a suit. Office down the hall. They're still on terminal leave even. This is what I'm going to encourage you guys to actually not to do. You want to take that time because you've earned it. Something to think about. If this video was helpful for you, and I hope that it was, please like it or consider subscribing to my channel if you want to learn more about mental health or tips on how to successfully transition from military to civilian life. But more important than that, if this video was helpful for you, well, that means it can probably be helpful to another veteran or another service member. So I ask that you share it with them, because at the end of the day, that's what all this is really about. One veteran trying to help another.